Well, the one thing about art that I know that is probably the most important thing, talent. It's been mentioned many times that talent has something to do with it, but I think persistence and obsession. But my obsession started when I was 7. It's well known amongst my friends. 7 years old, I became obsessed. As if art was actually a legitimate way to spend your life, like being a doctor or running a store. You know, but art is the kind of thing that fascinates us. I know that when a lot of us artists got together, we would trying to take some of the credit here. When we got together, oftentimes it was kind of a break, and that we would not talk about art and just talk about everything else in the world: fishing, traveling, seeing people. I probably would be playing piano in some place, in some bar or something like that in New Orleans. You know, just playing music in a bar. One of my, and I shouldn't, but one of my kind of things was to be one of the world's best extras in a movie. Oh, we got to get Harley, because I'd be very good sitting in a park bench. I'd be very. People would look. My God, that guy's good sitting in the park bench. But I'd want to be so they didn't notice me at the same time. You don't want to kind of make a big thing of yourself, like people walking by the camera. Oh, look at me, and doing hand signals and so on. But I probably would be the first person to get an extra Academy Award. And for the best extra of the year, the award goes to Harley Brown. Oh, God. Thank you. Thank you. But I don't know if that'll ever happen. But I'd only an extra. I wouldn't want to have to, because putting two words together that I've learned. And I knew that art would be the big thing, because in all the other subjects, all the other students understood and learned dates and places and so on. As soon as somebody said a date, as it was being said, I didn't remember it, even while it's being said. And if somebody said their name is, well, my name's Clark, well, I didn't even hear Clark. That's how bad my memory is, and always has been. And so the teachers understood this, God bless them, and they used to send me off to movies instead of taking history, because they knew at that time, grade 9, grade 10, they knew that I was going to be an artist, and that knowing when the Crimean War happened or about Nero and so on really was not would not be part of my life. And art, anyway, that's about it. Obsession, I think, is the big thing. And I know people always say, don't give up, don't give up. But in art, it really has to be that you have to put up with all of the fanatical parts. If somebody said your stuff is really not all that good, that doesn't mean crap. The only person that counts as far as your judgment is yourself. And that you think you're getting better, and I can dislike my work. That's fine. And the only other people, I've always said this, the only other people I want to hear give judgment with my art are chosen mentors. Not ones that come walking into the studio and that, but people I pick that I know their judgment is phenomenal. And they can just raise hell with me, and it's happened. In a class, right in front of everybody. The guy would come in and gave me royal hell. Right in front of the class. I didn't mind one little bit, because I was learning. And there was one class I went to, and there was nothing happening. And I thought, God, I'm here, and days are going by, and the days are going by, and then all of a sudden he said one thing. And that made and I thanked him forever. When I saw him every once in a while, I'd thank him. And he said one thing, which took about 10 seconds. He said that details are not the same in shadows and in light. If you have the details and texture in the light area, you soften those details in the shadow area. And they can't be the same because light does make a difference, the reflection of light upon something. And when I heard him say that, ooh, baby, that was like, I remember a lot of moments like that. Gustav Rehberger showing me about foreshortening, how to make fingers come towards you, turning the neck, drama, always the drama. The actresses, when they had photographs taken of them, always had to have their head turned and their hands something like this. Anyway, I'm not an actress, so actors would always have to look bold.
But you'd probably be the world's best extra.
Yeah. Now here, I'll show you extra. Watch as an extra. Now, okay, I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to walk down and watch me naturally come down and sit down on this chair. Okay, here's the scene starting now. Okay, action. That's a take. That's a wrap.
That's a one take Brown.
They call me one take.
Yeah, that's what they're going to be known as.
Anyway, I rambled on, and that's good enough. And sometime we'll talk about shadows.
Sounds good.
Oh God! If you okay, one extra thing. If you really want to see shadows, and they're centuries old, look closely at a Rembrandt, at the shadows from the nose, the eyes, cheeks, and so on. It's like you're sitting watching him paint. You can see it, the lights and the shadows. Now, artists are not deep. Artists are in the mind and that type of thing. Not necessarily, anyway. Artists have visual. They can visualize and they can see. And I've known so many artists all my life that you'll be able to see and to be able to put what you see on canvas or paper, but with your own intuitive interpretation. So all of those things, but you can't do your interpretation like when I learned the classics and I was able to play jazz. All over the place, but you have to learn the basics first. Take Sorolla, take Repin, Feshin, all of those guys. My God, they loved what they were seeing. And you could tell they loved what they were seeing by putting it on canvas or paper. Anyway, that's the end of that. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure.